Hey you guys, what's the deal with the Shinto Rasp? Let's head over to the workbench and figure it out. All right, you guys, I am crazy excited about this tool, man. I actually had a different video planned for you this month, but I picked this up. I had it hanging on my wall for a while. I bought it on a whim after seeing another video about it, but I had this hanging on my wall for a long time, and I picked it up and just started using it. And I use it to shape the edges and the corners of these wooden fly boxes that I've been building. And after using it, you guys, I changed my entire plan because you need to know about this. If you don't know about this, like in my heart, I want you guys to know about this tool because if you're in the hand tools, if you want to get started with hand tools, or maybe you're in a tiny space or starting off in an apartment like I did, this is a $22 tool from Amazon, you guys. It's going to change the way you do woodworking with hand tools. Maybe you don't have a $300 or $400 Lee Veritas smoothing plane or a jointing plane, or maybe you don't have a $300 Bosch router with a router table that costs another $300 and a set of bits that cost another $400. You know, maybe you just don't have those things. You want to get started in woodworking, and one of your barriers to entry are these crazy expensive tools. $22, you guys, and this thing can do what a plane does. Not everything a plane does, but a lot of things a plane does, and it'll take the place of a router if you need to do roundovers and stuff like that. So get started doing something for $22, you guys. All right, you guys, I'm gonna bring you in close. I'm gonna show this to you. All right, you guys, there she is, Shinto Rasp, made in Japan. It's got a wooden handle that's painted, and you can see I've kind of nicked it on some stuff, and that paint does come off on your project. So if you want to not get paint rubbed off on your project, I'll tell you this much, go ahead and sand that down a little bit or remove the paint with something, or cover it with a varnish of some kind. But here we go, guys. We get two sides to it, all right? And they're not the same. This side is a rough, coarse side here for coarser work. You know, we want to hog off material a lot quicker. Flip it around, and we have a finer side right there. You guys can see that. It's in a diamond-shaped pattern, secured by these rivets that go all the way through from one side all the way to the other. There's two of them there. That's it. It's pretty self-explanatory, you guys, but let me give you a quick demo so I can show you a little bit about this hand plane. I called it a hand plane. Shinto Rasp, that can act like a hand plane for, you know, smaller things. Just to clarify on that, you guys, I don't think I'm gonna be able to joint pieces of wood with this, but we can level off the edges if we need to. I'm gonna grab this, I keep calling it a plane. I'm gonna grab this rasp by its nose right here, and the other side's gonna be on the handle. And most Japanese tools will cut on the pull stroke. The planes and Japanese saws, they're kind of designed to be pulled to you. This is gonna be pushed away. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my hand, my right hand, I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you might wanna switch it. I'm gonna grab the nose of it right here, and I'm gonna use my right hand to pull this along. And I'm gonna start with the coarse side. And if you try to push this into the wood, you're gonna have some problems getting it started because it's so aggressive that it's really difficult to push through the wood. So you almost have to hold it back from its full capability and let it kind of glide over the surface a little bit. I've very quickly established a 45 across these two sides. And then all you have to do is angle it a little more. Switch over to the fine side to kind of refine that curve a little more. And I'm actually holding this plane back, you guys. I'm actually holding this rasp back. I'm not letting it do its full capabilities here because I don't want it to get away from me. That's how efficient this thing is. And you can see I'm kind of flipping it back and forth, you know, and changing direction. And that quickly, I've rounded off this corner right here. Let's check out what it can do on the long grain. I'm just gonna put it at a 45 to start, almost like you're doing a chamfer. And I'm just gonna pull it across this piece like this. And I'm actually started on the fine side. I didn't mean to do that. Let me switch it over to the coarse side. But that can actually help. If you pick up one of these and you got the coarse side and you're having trouble getting it to start the cut, flip it over to the fine side and do a couple of that. That'll be a lot easier. and you can kind of get your angle started, then flip it back around to the coarse side. And you'll find it's a lot easier to push through. So I'm on the coarse side now. And I'm just gonna work my way around that curve. And then I'm gonna flip it back over to the fine side to kind of refine that curve a little more. And just that quickly, I've established a beautiful round over on this piece. And if I wanted to keep refining it and make it more round over, I could. But all it needs now is a little sandpaper, you guys, and that's gonna be pretty, it's gonna be beautiful. Here's what I've been doing with the fly boxes. I wanna kind of make the fly boxes have that convex edge where each edge tapers down. So you put it in your vise like this and take the round over you did already and just kind of work your, and this is so quick. But it's taking off material so quickly that I'm just gonna switch to the fine side. Now I've got this beautiful round over curve that tapers down from both sides. And it just needs a little sandpaper now, maybe a little more refining. I'm gonna hold it in my hand and just kind of hit it with the fine side of this rasp. A couple places I noticed are looking a little bit rough because this is so much quicker than sandpaper. So the last thing I want to show you is how to use it like a plane. And honestly, there's absolutely nothing different from that to how we've been using it. I might even guide it the same way I would a hand plane in this case, where I put my fingers against the wood. I almost use this part of my finger as a fence, and I put it against the wood like that, or like that. I'm gonna use my right hand this time so you guys can see. But I'll make my knuckle like this, and use it as a fence against the wood. And then kind of hold my thumb on top. And that way I can ensure that I'm keeping this plane at a 90-degree angle. So I want to keep equal weight or equal pressure on the front and the back. But you can achieve a very flat edge by doing it this way. This is not a technique I would use if I needed to joint woods. I would recommend a hand plane for that. But if you need to just quickly level off an edge of a board, you can go the other way. That's the great thing. You can probably go against the grain with this or with it. It's not gonna matter. You might get a little bit of tear out. Just because it's a rasp, no matter which way you go, you're gonna have a rough surface. So come back behind it with a card scraper. That left me with a really good, smooth, clean surface just that quick. All right, and that's the Shinto Rasp. It is a pretty self-explanatory tool and an amazing tool for the price. So $22 on Amazon, you guys. And don't go to Amazon, don't open up a new tab and type in Amazon and log in. Scroll down to the description, you guys. I've got a link for you right in there. Other than a marking knife, I don't know of another tool that will improve your experience in hand tool woodworking as much as this for that low of a price. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you guys don't want to miss anything out. Coming up soon, I've got a Woodworker's Bookshelf series number 2 about workbenches coming out. Awesome book, awesome book. In fact, I'm even going to show you how to build some of your own workbenches using that book. Also coming out, you guys, soon, I'm going to do a video about 3 ways to get started doing woodworking in an apartment. I'm going to show you what I went through, how I did it, and I'm gonna offer solutions for you to do it too. So that way, if you're sitting in an apartment, you wanna do woodworking, you don't know how to get started, I got you. 3 easy steps, all right? Thanks for watching, you guys. I want you to know I appreciate you so much. And remember, just get in the shop and do something, you guys. Failure is not the enemy of success. As long as you learn something or grow from any failed attempt, you've just taken another step on your journey to being incredible. Thanks for watching, you guys. You are great people. I'll see you next time.